Hey, my lovely, welcome to your energy reading for today. Now, the energy that came up today is grief. Okay. And the message says, tears are what happens when the ice in the heart melts. Tears are what happen when the ice in the heart melts. Now, I feel like I'm speaking to many different groups of people. Okay. But there is a specific group of people who have held on to this feeling of inadequacy for so long. They've allowed the words that were spoken to them in yesteryear or whenever it was to be stored up in the heart. And you allowed what they've said to kind of permeate you. And you've hardened your heart so that other people don't have access to you in the same way to come in and to hurt you in the way that these people have previously hurt you. And what Divine is saying today is when those feelings of tears come, when your nose starts to burn, when it starts to tickle, and you just are fighting it back because how dare anyone bring me to this place? I can't allow anyone to feel that they have any power over me because previously I was hurt, previously I was open, and now I have a shield around me. So it's almost like some people are fighting through this grief process that I can't believe how hurt I was. I'm grieving the fact that I lost out on certain, it's almost like a grief around the loss of time. For some of you, this is a grief around the loss of innocence. For some of you, this is a grief around the loss of people. Okay. And I just want to say I'm really, really sorry. And my condolences to anybody who has lost anybody recently. And not even just recently. It's one of the most painful things that anyone can go through is losing a loved one. You know, although there is an understanding that nobody truly dies, that energy just transforms, energy just changes form, changes shape. So the form of the person is no longer, but the energy that was residing within their soul, the essence of who they are, still remains. That is why sometimes we have this feeling of not being alone in certain situations, and sometimes it can feel a little bit eerie. But these are times where our loved ones are coming back just to give us a hug, just to give us a little bit of warmth, show us that they're still here. So whenever there is tears that are formed in our eyes, and there is a time of floods of tears, and there's a time for release, allow it to be. Know that the heart is finally thawing out. The hard exterior and the protective layer that you put around your heart is thawing out because there is a new thing that needs to happen here. There is a beautiful way that you have protected yourself and your spirit team has been protecting you. However, there is a healing and a renewal that is meant for your life. And the activation of your heart chakra, it needs work, it needs TLC, it needs activated, it needs healing, it needs to spin in the opposite direction. There is blockage here, there is stagnant energy around here. So when you find yourself in floods of tears or just that one tear coming out of nowhere and you're just like, oh, where's this from? Knowing that it could be a myriad of anything because there's so much that the average person has gone through and is yet to go through and to overcome. Okay, so please allow the tears and the feelings and the emotions and everything that needs to come out from the heart space, allow it to be. Okay, I understand that there is a protection around not showing people that they have affected you in a certain way, and I fully understand. But in your quiet moments, when you are alone, when it's just you and Source Divine, and you are sitting with your younger self, and you are sitting with your spirit team, and there is a burning need and desire to just release, please allow that to happen as organically and as um, whatever way it comes out is it needs to come out, because there's a thawing happening. Like it says, tears are what happens when the ice in the heart melts. There is a need to melt the hard exterior, the hard shell that you formed around your heart for your own protection. Because what you're not allowing is for certain people or certain energies to come in and to enrich you because of this hard exterior around your heart. And I understand that there's been a lot of loss, and there's a grief around losing people, places, things, the loss of innocence, situation, the loss of power and control. Sometimes we don't think about how we can grieve that. We can grieve the fact that we don't feel in control. I didn't have control. I wasn't able to resolve that situation. I wasn't able to put my best foot forward. I was stifled. I was cut down in my prime, is what I'm hearing here. Okay. So when you are in this space of grief, mourning the loss of a physical person, mourning the loss of a situation, places, things, know that it's time to allow that to come out. And that hard rock and that hard exterior that you've put around your heart no longer needs to be there. You've got to get into an energy of trusting the process, that right now, what was necessary was a hardening so that you can go through that particular season of your life, get through so that you could focus on certain things without bleeding out. But this is a time now where the tears need to fall, that the excess baggage and the excess pain and the excess stuff need to come out, okay, so that work can be done on your heart, so that your chakras can be realigned, that it can be activated and healed in this time. Your spirit team are wanting so much to penetrate within your heart certain messages, certain insights to keep you in alignment with where you are meant to go. But on the outside, you are holding on to this element of control. And maybe this has been formed from feeling like you've been out of control. So the only way that you can control it is to not allow anybody to come close to you, is to have prickles on your outside, to be like the cactus, so that if anybody even feels like they can come close to you with any BS, they're going to get themselves hurt. They're going to be stung. They're going to be pricked. They're going to be burnt, because no one ain't playing with me. Yeah. And I fully understand that energy. And if you can hear from my voice how passionate I sound, I can feel a certain group of you right now have held on to some stuff, have really needed to get some stuff out. But I feel as though you've been able to articulate yourself. I think you've been able to have your rough exterior and put on your rough side on the outside so that nobody can play with you. And I can feel this energy, and I can feel this anger and frustration and complete discontentment with the amount of grief that you have had to face within your life, okay, and the things that you've witnessed. Okay, so grief can be coming from external. Maybe you weren't the person who has gone through this thing, but you witnessed it. You can still grieve from that stance, and you can still be affected from that stance. However, you can still be healed from that place as well. Divine wants to please, Divine is pleading with you to soften down, allow the hard exterior to just melt naturally. Speak to your spirit team about helping you to just allow you to release. For some people, They can only get 1 or 2 tears out because it feels like, what am I crying for? I feel like I'm all cried out. I've done enough crying. There's no more cries. There's no more tears to be had. But what divine is saying, that there's still a rough shell around your heart that still needs to be removed. And divine is going to support you removing that heavy weight. But what you need to do is surrender into it. When you feel this need to speak your truth, when you start getting how you feel out on a page and journaling, when you start talking to your therapists, when you start talking to your friends and your family about how you're feeling, and really start to do things that are going to help you deprogram yourself from this stance where you need to be on guard all the time. There is a wonderful thing about to happen. You haven't done anything wrong, and there was nothing that you did to deserve what has happened to you. You are loved, okay? You are loved immensely by the Creator. They just wanted you to go through certain things, see certain things, so that you can support the world, so that you can look at somebody else and recognize what it is that you see that's similar to you, and say the right word at the right time, to go ahead and break the cycles, all of those ill things that was happening. You do not perpetrate that because of what you've gone through. Rather, you lead with love and compassion. Okay? So divine is doing a wonderful thing for you. So if there is any movement towards tears, please allow it to be. If there's release in the way of singing, dancing, meditating, microdosing, whatever it is that you are led to do to release some kind of pressure, or to explore who you truly are behind the protective layer that you have formed for yourself. There is something wonderful that's coming in for you. You are in no way damaged, and you are in no way smeared. Okay? You have had things happen to you that has been damaging, but you are not damaged. Okay? You have a way of repairing yourself. There is support given in the divine essence of life itself. Seasons show you that there is a beginning, a middle, and an end, and the cycle just keeps going round and round. There is a renewal happening here for you. There is a shedding of the old skin. There is a thawing away of the ice to make way for the buds that are going to be formed again around your heart. The newness, the hopefulness, the youthful excitement of life is about to be renewed. Excitement will come. Okay. So, whoever this resonates with, there is love here for you. All right. You are loved. You are truly blessed and highly favored. Feel how you feel. Express yourself how you feel to express yourself. If you get creative, it's one of the most wonderful ways that you can do this. Write, sing, paint, whatever it is that you have in your heart to do, crochet, sew, create jewelry, whatever it is that you have within you to take yourself into a space, please allow that to be. And if it's floods of tears, allow those floods of tears. There is no shame in crying. It's not a weakness. Okay, vulnerability is a superpower that people don't usually recognize as a superpower, but it's a superpower. Okay, to be vulnerable and to allow yourself to feel what you need to feel in order to heal and to be renewed. Okay, so much love, my darlings. All is well.